On the channel today, we've got something that's a little bit different, and I like different. I like it when manufacturers make something to read the time in a different way, and it's unique, and that's what we've got here. This is a company called Angles, and if you notice, it's got one hand. There's one hand there, it looks like a space rocket, like a spaceship, and it's quite a unique way of reading the time. I like that. The way they present themselves is a watch brand that relies on Swiss mechanical automatic movements to drive complications that reveal time in a different way. And that's what we've got here. We've got a watch that if you have a look at it, it says 12:10. So it's 10 past 12, quarter past 12. But if we go all the way up, you'll look at that 12, it's changed to 1. So we've got 1:15, 1:30, 1:45, a very interesting watch. And look, I've been playing with this all week. It's pretty cool. It's actually pretty cool. It's not without its flaws. There are a few things that I'd like to see changed personally, but I like the fact that it's finished well. It's a Swiss movement. The hardware is really, really impressive. So let's check this thing out and run the numbers to see what it offers. Now, you saw the pop-up. This watch has been sent out to the channel and we don't have to send it back. But as for the review content, Angles has zero input into this review. Now, looking at the numbers of this watch, what I measure is a case diameter of 44 millimeters, a lug to lug of 51.5, a case height I measure at 10.9 without the sapphire, or 14.5 width, and a lug width of 22 mil. Now, the crown is an 8.8 millimeter push-pull crown, and it features 100 meters of water resistance, and the total weight of the watch, as spec'd up on this leather strap, comes in at 98 grams. Now, from those specs, you're probably thinking 44 mil. Well, it's actually quite a decent 44, because if you notice, there's about 5-6 mil of steel all the way around. So the dial itself is inset. It actually looks quite good. It looks more like a 42 mil. That said, even the 51.5 millimeter lug to lug, I measure from the outside there, so it's really about a 49.5, 49 thereabouts. It actually sits quite well. This is the watch on my 18 centimeter wrist, and as you can see, it's 44, but like I said, it sits more like a 42 mil. It actually wears really well. 51.5, you can see there's like angular shape at the edge of those lugs, so it really is about a 49. You can see that it sits down pretty nicely on the wrist. The height is impressive. The height of the actual case comes in at exactly 10.9 millimeters, and that box sapphire crystal gives the added height up to 14.5. So the sapphire is actually a box dome as well as a double dome. So it's got a dual variation in there, and I like that because the clarity on this sapphire has been fantastic. Now, looking at that leather strap, it's 22 mil at the clasp. That tang buckle, as you can see, very nice hardware, solid. Albeit for my liking, it's a little bit too big. It reminds me of a Panerai, but the quality of both the strap and the buckle is very, very good. Now, looking at that leather strap, as you can see, it's an Italian vegetable tan leather, quite thick, good stitching. It's actually reinforced nicely. Breaking time was about a day, so that's not too bad, but the fact that it's 22 to 22, personally, I don't like. I would have preferred a bit of a taper just to be able to have less real estate at the bottom of that wrist. But in saying that, they've also supplied, I'll show you guys, this is how the actual watch came. The watch came in a little parcel like this, Angles, as you can see, really good quality. This is actually really nice as a travel pouch, so I like that, that's decent. And it also came with this, which is another leather strap and a 2-year warranty. So you've basically got a second leather strap in black, same hardware, same materials, everything. You can mix and match. But for me personally, I actually like swapping out straps and so forth. That's how I would be wearing it. I like a blue FKM rubber strap, something a little bit different, or even possibly something in black. But getting onto strap changes, I want to show you guys something. If you haven't already noticed, the watch comes with screw pins instead of spring bars. So there's a screw pin all the way across that you have to use 2 screwdrivers to basically remove it. And that can be counted as a positive or a negative. Look, it's a positive in the fact that it's solid, it's reliable, they're strong as compared to spring bars. However, it is a bit of a tedious effort to be able to unscrew both of those with 2 screwdrivers. Then you've got to put a bit of Loctite so it doesn't come out. So there's a bit of a process involved. If you're happy with changing straps and leaving it on the strap, that's fine. Me, I'm a strap junkie on a daily, weekly basis, just for variety. Now getting onto that sapphire crystal, this is one of the heroes of the watch because the clarity has been great. It's a box dome. I don't know if you can see it. It's actually raised as well as a double dome. And it's got anti-reflective coating on the other side. It's been doing a good job. I haven't had an issue with washout on this dial. I've been able to see the dial clearly. Now the movement of the watch is a Sellita SW200 and it's running really healthily. In fact, I put this on the time graph to check it out. And as you can see from the results there, stable and a very healthy result. And that Sellita has been modified to have a wandering hand module. And this is where the magic comes in on this particular watch. It's different, it's something different. And first and foremost, one click and nothing happens. So there is a ghost state and that's a bit unfortunate. We pull the second one and as you can see, if we look in that little box, it says 2 o'clock. As soon as I reach the 12 o'clock marker, it says 2 o'clock. So now that stays at 2 o'clock, 10 past 2, 20 past 2, 25 past, it's still 2 in there. So all the way for the duration of that hour until we're just about to get across again, there's 3 o'clock. So it's 3:10, 3:15 in the afternoon, morning, 3:35, 3:45 and so forth. And that continues. And the beauty is, if I go backwards, there you go, back to 3, back to 2, and all the rest. So setting the time on this watch has been really easy. I'll wake up and if I haven't worn the watch and I want to wear it, I'll say, okay, look, it's 3:30 in the afternoon. Well, there you go. You just go to 3, there's 30, away you go. Movement's automatic. It's ticking away at 28,800 vibrations per hour. It's set and forget. I'm no stranger to single hand watches. In fact, I have one in my collection. I have the Meistersinger and I enjoy that for its simplicity. This is different because you read the hour here and you read the minutes here. So the minutes are quite legible. The hour, on the other hand, being in a little box, it could present a little bit of a problem if your eyesight's not that good. If you're an eyeglass wearer, no issues. If you're a young bloke, again, no issues. Now the lume of the watch is A grade BGW9. It's 10 layers and I'll tell you what, it shows. It really does show. If you look at the brightness, especially on the tip of that rocket hand, it glows and glows and glows. Getting in dim subdued lighting situations, you can really see this watch. It glows well and it points the way. The only thing, like I said, that hour marker on that rotisserie wheel in that box can be a little bit difficult to read if your eyesight isn't the best. Now with all watches, there's positives and negatives, and with this particular one here, I'd like to see a couple of things changed, me personally. First and foremost, that ghost position, it really didn't need to be there. I know that it doesn't have a date, but it's a little complication that can be rectified. As you know, most manufacturers leave that in there just in case they use that movement in other watches that have already got the date. So it's easy just to leave it in there. A lot of companies do that. That might bug certain people. A second potential negative is that buckle. For me, it's a little bit big. It reminds me of a Panerai. It's massive. Under the wrist, it's quite a bit of presence. And also the fact that it's 22 mil. I would have loved to see this tapered to 20 with a smaller tang buckle. It would have been just more comfortable. I find that there's a lot of heft. The watch itself, even though it is 44 mil, it's not that big on the wrist as compared to, I don't think it justifies a buckle that big. That's my 2 cents worth. The price could be a turn off for certain people. The watch comes in at $980. However, that does include free worldwide shipping as well as the 2-year warranty. So the fact that it's a unique looking piece, take it for what you may. It is very unique. It is finished well. In fact, the case finishing is fully satinized. I've not had issues with its finishing, its quality control. The watch has been great. And last negative is potentially that lug to lug. Being 51.5, but as you saw, it drapes down straight away. Ideally, it's about a 49 and a bit. It sits well on the wrist, just pointing it out there so you can be aware of it. Now, as far as positives are concerned, it's unique. The layout, the legibility has been very good. The lume has been fabulous. The lume is very good. I was impressed because printed markers, but the layers, the 10 layers on this, it's just working. It really is. It's super. In fact, I wish my Meistersinger had lume like this. So the lume on this is very, very good. Well done. The sapphire crystal, it's a boxed double dome sapphire. It's very clean. It's doing a great job. It takes up about 3 mil of that height. It's really a 10.8 millimeter case height. Happy to have the crystal on top. It's a nice, clean, legible experience. The movement is good. Sapphire exhibition case back. The quality is good. So I think as an overall package, it's very good. What would I like to see change? What would I like to potentially see changed in this watch? Well, it's 44. If you did go down to maybe a 42 or 41 mil watch, you're gonna possibly lose the legibility by getting a smaller dial as well. That's maybe a thought. Even in saying that, as a 44mm watch, it does sit well on the wrist. Because of the profile and height, it's not that big, which is pretty cool. Another thing that I'd love to see changed on this watch, just as an older guy whose eyes are not as good as they used to be, trying to see the 4 in there, for me, because it's in a box and it's encaged, you really have to have good eyes to see it. Younger guys won't have an issue, younger people won't have an issue with that, but having eyes that are older than 50, yeah, it's something that you have to really look for. So potentially, we've got a big single hand pointer. That's pointing to the minutes. I would have loved maybe the back of that to have a pointer pointing to the outside. So that could potentially be your hour, 10:40 or 10:30, yeah, 10:15 and so forth. And as the thing actually changes, there's 11, 11:15, 11:30, 11:35. As it changes again, there it is, 12. So that's easy to see. So just a pointer out there rather than having it in here, that's my gripe. That's the only gripe that technically I think to myself, it just would have made it a more legible experience. But as a design, I like what they've done. I like the fact that it's unique, a single hand. It's also created a little bit more fun. As far as quality is concerned, it is very good. The finishing, the execution of that loom, even that crown, the knurling, everything seems to work really well. So I wanted to share it on the channel, guys. Let me know what you think. If you've heard of this brand, there are a couple of different other watches that they've got and they're unique. Like I said, they rely on Swiss mechanical movements to drive complications that reveal the time in unique ways, and this is quite unique. I hope you enjoyed that, guys. I'll leave all the links in the description of where you can get this. Hit me up in the comments, let me know what you think, any changes you'd recommend. It's been fun, albeit I've got to get myself some glasses. Thanks for watching, we'll see you in the next video.